You may hate me for saying this, but revolvers have been sidelined by semi-auto pistols in the firearms market by a huge margin. That's the actual truth. The mere fact that they have detachable box magazines lets you shoot more rounds and reload faster, which, from a practical standpoint, is a must these days. But there's a certain magical feeling that you can only get when using a revolver. I find joy in sliding a cartridge into a cylinder and hearing the click when you shut the wheel. And speaking of cartridges, there's actually a number of options you can pick. What's up, everyone? This is your boy Ted from Line 45. In this episode, I am going to give you a rundown of the most popular revolver cartridges right now. And by the way, I didn't include those rounds that are associated with semi-auto pistols to make this list exclusive to wheel guns alone. So don't expect the likes of 9mm, .45 ACP, or 10mm here, but with the exception of the 22 Long rifle. Before we get underway, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I know it feels like a hassle, but those simple clicks mean a lot for my channel. Now, let's return to the video. 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire. I just need to include the 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire in this discussion, because this cartridge rarely gets the love that it deserves. Aside from the 22 Long rifle, which I'm about to feature in a short while, the 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire is the only other rimfire cartridge I included in this video. Now, what's with the deal with the rimfire cartridge? Well, without being too technical about things, rimfire cartridges are typically weaker than those rounds that are boxer primed. It's just a fact of life that we can't dispute. There's also this not-so-mentioned issue about the reliability of these rimfire rounds. Any revolver user would say that rimfire cartridges like 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire and 22 Long rifle are less reliable than their counterparts. But over the years, I haven't encountered significant issues with the rimfire revolvers that I use. But maybe that's just me being lucky and diligent in taking care of my wheel guns. So what does a 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire revolver do? Since it's small, the best use for this gun is for concealed carry and lightweight protection. In the past, the idea of using a pocket gun for personal defense was shunned like it was a damn taboo. But today, it's the trend. Just take a look at those snubbies and micro-compacts like the P365. It feels like they are the latest fashion craze, but hey, these small shooters do really work. So there's really a reasonable case as to why you should try a 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire. 32 Smith and Wesson Long. There's no denying that the 32 Smith and Wesson Long, or 32 Long, is one of the oldest revolver cartridges out there. If my memory serves me right, this revolver originated back in the 19th century, but was able to appeal to the modern market due to the revolver we all know as the Colt New Police. The New Police, by the way, was the standard-issue handgun for various police departments in the United States in the 20th century. One interesting aspect about revolvers chambered in 32 Long is that they can also safely shoot 32 Smith and Wesson short rounds. But you can't do the same if you are using a 32 short revolver. I have to admit that there aren't many revolvers today chambered for 32-inch bullets. Part of the reason is that new revolver cartridges have already supplanted their ballistic performance. Well, I am not sad that it's no longer in the mainstream. I just get nostalgic since I used to shoot 32-inch revolvers with my grandfather when I was still living in Arizona. On the flip side, I am quite happy that once in a while I encounter young gunners who are familiar with the 32 Long. But to be fair, these guys probably got to encounter this cartridge because they inherited Colt guns from their parents. 22 Long rifle. Are you even surprised about this? The 22 Long rifle is probably the most popular cartridge for revolvers among the bunch. Had it not been for the 9mm, this could have been the most popular gun cartridge in the world right now. I grew up using 22 Long rifle revolvers because they're very easy to use. The recoil is close to gentle, and the price per box or round is definitely cheap. So, when it comes to recreation or practice shooting, the 22 Long rifle is my best bet. With the right revolver, a 22 Long rifle bullet can help you clear your area from varmints. Now here's a thing that I want to emphasize about the 22 Long rifle. From its name alone, the 22 Long rifle is typically chambered for rifles. Hence, there's a good chance the advertised muzzle velocity of a 22 Long rifle bullet is when it's fired from a rifle's barrel and not from a revolver. You cannot really compare the propulsion of a rifle and a revolver, given that a rifle's barrel is obviously longer. Still, this doesn't mean that 22 long rifle bullets in revolvers are of no use. They are still effective, especially for personal protection. 44 Magnum. Let's talk about the 44 Magnum as well, but this is just going to be short. To clear the confusion, a 44 Magnum is more powerful than 357 and 38 special rounds. The bullet of a 44 Magnum is substantially heavier and wider than some other revolver bullets, but there's no compromise when it comes to speed. Hence, when it hits its targets, you should automatically expect that it will yield significant terminal damage as well. All I can say is that you'll never want to be on the receiving end of a 44 Magnum if you want to keep your body intact. In fact, some people perceive the 44 Magnum revolver as overkill, especially if you are planning to use it for personal defense. However, for home defense and hunting, this is a seriously good firearm to consider. The only problem here is the recoil of 44 Magnum loads. I am not exaggerating if I say that its kick is monstrous, so even if you can control it, the jerk of the barrel will prevent you from returning your sights to zero. This is the very reason why gunners instantly pick 357 Magnum revolvers over the 44 Magnum. Still, if you want a fiery gun to take on the range, you should seriously consider a 44 mag wheel gun. 38 Special. Even though the 357 Magnum originated from the 38 Special, that doesn't mean that the 38 Special is a powerful cartridge. I want to clear up that misconception. But in the grand scheme, it is quite enough to scare or neutralize both four-legged and two-legged threats. The 38 Special is also quite popular, and in this particular metric I can say that it rivals the likes of 22 Long rifle. And with its popularity comes availability, or in simplest terms, there's no difficulty finding ammo for a 38 Special revolver. Since the 38 Special is considered tame by ballistic standards, it remains a viable choice for a compact revolver. You can use a 38 Special for personal defense, and it has been the trend for quite some time already. The likes of Colt Cobra, Kimber K6, and Ruger LCR are proof that revolver manufacturers bank on this fact. Of course, I have to address the elephant of the room, which is the punching power of the 38 Special. You see, modern revolvers chambered in 38 Special should be already capable of shooting plus P rounds. While it's true that these plus P 38 Special bullets produce more recoil, the extent of impact they can create is simply satisfying and effective. 357 Magnum. In terms of relevance, the 357 Magnum is close to unbeatable. I am just glad that this one is not associated with semi-auto pistols, otherwise its novelty will certainly be lower. Now, let's have a brief history lesson. The 357 Magnum was actually derived from the 38 Special. It's for this reason that revolvers chambered in 357 Magnum can also shoot 38 Special rounds, but you can do the same the other way around. I think it was a guy named Elmer Keith who tinkered with the 38 Special. Apparently, he wanted to push the limits of a 38 Special until he made a new cartridge, which is now known as the 357 Magnum. By the way, Keith was also the one who developed the 44 Magnum. This guy really wanted his revolvers to shoot explosive rounds. Going back to the 357 Magnum, I can say that it's pretty much the standard for a well-balanced cartridge. It's powerful enough to put a deer down, and at the same time has the kind of recoil that you can control. Yes, it's snappy. Not gonna lie on that one, but with proper training, you should be able to take care of this issue. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Just press all the buttons. Those little clicks are free, but they help the channel a lot. Stay sharp, stay safe, and remember, it's not just about the shot, it's about mastering the craft. Until next time, lock and load. Next time, lock and load.